What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And we're talking about this Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Golden State Warrior drama. So, for anybody that didn't know or didn't recognize, I believe it was on Monday evening after a game, Kevin Durant and Draymond Green got into a heated sideline argument, led to, just some angry words going back and forth. Actually, as the days go by, we learn a little bit more about some of the things that were said and shared. At the end of the day, well, at least on Tuesday, we found out that Draymond Green was suspended for one game, which is a game that took place on Tuesday night, which saw the Golden State Warriors beating the Atlanta Hawks at home 110 to 103. They were also playing without Stephen Curry. So it's not every day that you see a player get suspended for a game based off of an argument with a teammate. Uh, you need to know, and most people who follow the NBA and really kind of understand how this whole thing works, understands that teammates argue all the time, right? We may or may not always hear about it when it takes place. Depends on the level of the blow up. Like if you have a Nikola Mirotic, Bobby Portis type of thing where there are punches thrown, then yeah, you're generally going to hear about it. But you don't even hear about everything that comes to blows in a practice session either. In this age of social media, obviously, we hear about a few more things than we used to before. There's been teammates in the past, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, couldn't stand each other. Michael Jordan and several of his teammates have had issues. I'm quite sure Kobe Bryant may have had issues with players on his team. But this one's different because of the dynamic, everything that's going on with the Golden State Warriors from a player personnel standpoint. And also because, like I said, Draymond Green ultimately was suspended for this. Now, so the question that I think that comes out of this is how deep will all of this go? Kevin Durant, everyone knows, is a free agent at the end of this season. There's already talk about where he will and won't land. I happen to believe, based off of information that I've received, that Durant is going to leave the Golden State Warriors. He's going to the Los Angeles Lakers. So no doubt, if I've heard that type of thing, his teammates and other people close to the organization have heard that sort of thing. Durant's handling the free agency questions from the media in a unique way, so to speak. He's not dodging them or anything of that nature, but he is being somewhat open, especially considering his personality type and the way he's handled this sort of thing in the past. So is this suspension going to wind up making it more, serious than it would have been if it had just been an argument that took place and just kind of, oh, well, things happen between teammates? That's the way the players are attempting to paint this. But I don't know, as someone who has followed this sport for over 30 years, right? Close to 40 years, right? This feels a little different. It just feels a little different. It doesn't seem like it's just a simple argument that is going to quickly go away. Like I said, as the days go by, we learn a little bit more. Come to find out, according to reports, things that came out via Bleacher Report today, which was obviously sourced from somewhere else, Durant and Draymond haven't spoken since the altercation. Also, Draymond did a lot of name calling, from what we understand, during this altercation, calling Durant a B several times, also accusing him of making this entire season about him and his impending free agency and not about the team and their quest for another championship. These are kind of really personal kinds of things that you're letting out there when you're coming at somebody in that way. So I don't know. That's that's a tough situation. That's not just something that just is. You know what I mean? It's when you have an argument with a teammate or friend or whatever, and you guys or girls start to really share and let loose some of these things that are really on your heart, and you let them come out when you're angry. Sometimes it's much harder, or most of the time, it's much harder to dismiss that kind of stuff, because I remember, you remember what you said when you were angry, and I know for a fact that that's how you really feel. And it depends on the person how they're able to handle that and where they're able to put that. So my question at this point, and the title of this video is about Draymond Green and his approach. Like he's had arguments with probably everybody on that team at some point. You know, he's gone at it with Steve Kerr. He's gone at it with other people. All types of things. All these different things have happened. Is he going to be the reason that the Golden State Warriors dynasty, this team that they've put together, that everybody just pretty much says, oh, well, no one's going to beat them? Is he going to be the reason that they break up? Is he going to be the reason that Kevin Durant leaves? Now, I somewhat answered that question earlier in the video when I said that I believe that Durant's going to leave anyway. But I do believe that Draymond Green and this relationship with Kevin Durant are going to get some of the blame for the exit. Now, whether or not that played a part or a role in it, we may never know that for sure. But I do believe that that relationship is going to play a role in I mean, it's going to be blamed or going to be put into the conversation when Kevin Durant makes the decision to leave. Now, we must remember the Warriors were a championship team before Durant got there. Can they still be a championship team without him there? I'm not so sure if that's the case, because if you put Durant and another player of substance on a team, you know, with the Lakers with LeBron and Kevin Durant, you got something pretty tough there for the Warriors to overcome in their own division, let alone in the conference and across the league. Not to mention you got other teams like the 76ers and the Celtics and the and the Bucks and the Raptors all getting better. And then you got the Rockets, who just seemingly will never stop pursuing talent to try to find the right mix. So it's going to get tougher every single year. The Warriors are getting a year older. It's going to get tougher. And at some point, this is going to come to an end. But the real thing is Draymond speeding this up? Is he expediting the whole process? Is he bringing this to an end quicker than maybe it needs to maybe it needs to be? Draymond, part of what makes him a dynamic player or a force on a squad is the fact that he is so outspoken, is that it's his energy, it's all of that. But there's a negative and there's a flip side to that. He seems to be the type of guy who, once he gets set on a particular concept, nobody can tell him anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Steve Kerr. I don't care if you're Kevin Durant. I don't care if you're Steph. No matter who you are, you're not going to calm him down. You're not, because it's about pride. And I also think there's a little bit of insecurity there, right? One of the things he said to Kevin Durant is, who the F do you think you're talking to? And to me, that sounds a little bit like a guy who is, you know, if you listen to things that Draymond has said over the years, he's always trying to make sure, to me, it sounds like, that he's getting the credit that he deserves as a factor on this team. You know, he's always pretty much looked at as the least of the four really big cogs on the team behind Durant, Steph, and Clay. He's usually fourth in that whole conversation. And as far as, you know, from an athletic freak standpoint, he's not this freakishly athletic guy, but he gets it done. And there's nobody who would really dispute, who really understands basketball, would dispute the fact that he, you know, how big of an impact he's had on the team. But there is a belief or a group that believes that Draymond's just this guy, right? And like I said, he is the fourth guy. That's what most people believe. And for a man that is so proud like Draymond, it doesn't feel like a stretch to suggest that he may have some insecurities behind that. And then a lot of times your insecurity is going to come out when you get angry, when you get pressed, when you get in a situation like that, especially when you're talking to the guy who wasn't even a part of your first championship run, signed on, you know, even though you quote unquote or allegedly begged him to come, but he joined the squad after you had beaten him already in the series before. But you wanted him on the team because you wanted to make him better. But still, when you acquire somebody like that, is there the 100% level of the respect there? Even though everybody knows Kevin Durant's the best scorer in the league, he's one of the best overall players in the league. Is the respect still there? And respect gets tested when people get pressed. And when you get angry, you're pressed. Now, all of this said, the Warriors are still 12-3. And they're still probably everybody's odds-on favorite to win the NBA championship this year. So this thing may not dissolve right in front of us in this particular season, but this is about looking forward and moving ahead. Will we look back on this altercation and say this was the first public sign that something was really wrong with the Warriors and that this was the beginning of the end of them as we know them right now? That's all I got for you today. If you dig this type of NBA and basketball talk, make sure you leave a like on this video. Also, myself and Nelson Blake are going to breach this same topic tomorrow on you guys will see it tomorrow on At Me Bro. It's the second episode of that. Dig this and dig that. Also, make sure you, like I said, you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you watching as always. God bless and peace.